Hello everyone and welcome to Star Wars on High. Thank you for stopping by. We are back with some news on the upcoming Star Wars series, The Acolyte. Now there's a lot I want to discuss, so hopefully this video isn't that long, but right from the start I want to point out that for most of us, The Acolyte is not going to be what we think it is. We know it's a mystery thriller set 100 years before The Phantom Menace during the end of the High Republic, but now it's been shared that it will tell the story of how the Sith infiltrated the Jedi, and it's described as the first ever Sith-led story. Now right away, I've seen too many people read the headline and dive right into the comments saying, what about the Bane trilogy, or the Plagueis novel, or Knights of the Old Republic? Yes, we know those exist, and so do the people that write these articles. That's why when you read the full article, it goes on to say, while the Sith have been explored in countless pieces of Star Wars media in the past, the mysterious group has never been the full focus of a series before. Which is absolutely true, and that quote comes from comingsoon.net. There has never been a TV show or movie that focuses on the Sith. Sure, the prequels delve more into it, and they are definitely a prominent part of the Star Wars saga, but we need to stop taking headlines so literal. Just read them first before forming an opinion. That part is important to understand when I go into this point when I said that this show is not going to be what we think. We've talked a lot about our theories for the show and how based on the time that it's set, there's a possibility of seeing some familiar Siths in the series, most notably being Darth Plagueis and his master Darth Tenebros. As cool as I think it would be to see those two in a show like this, we need to not get our hopes up on it. Yes, I know fans of the EU want these characters to return, and trust me, I do as well. But when Disney said that these stories would not be canon back in 2012, I just went with it and understood what they meant. I don't expect these characters to show up, and neither should anyone, because it will just lead to disappointment when it doesn't happen. Now, perhaps I'm wrong and they do show up, which would be incredible, but just don't bet on it happening. Right now, I'm putting all of my money down on there being a newly created Sith that will be the focus of this show, and no, I don't think they're going to have a redemption arc that turns them good. We need to stop assuming that as well. I also don't think that Amandla Stenberg's character is going to be the Sith either. It very well could be any of the cast members that have been officially announced, but I'm just not sure. We don't know enough for me to say, and once again, with that being said, I could be wrong and it could be Amandla's character. We just don't know yet. Now for the big one, at least for me, how is this story going to work? We all know from Ki-Adi-Mundi's line in The Phantom Menace that the Sith have been extinct for a millennia. So how will the Sith infiltrate the Jedi without anyone knowing for the next 100 years, especially when members of the Council are alive well during the events of the Acolyte? We know that Yoda, Yaddle, Oppo Rancisis, and Yarael Poof were Jedi during the High Republic nearly 350 years before the Phantom Menace. Because of this will probably be the first time I ever tell Disney to move forward with caution, as this show could be dangerous to the timeline if done incorrectly. However, I think they've done fine so far and probably had all the details worked out well in advance, especially since there are easy ways to do this. Take the book Darth Maul Shadowhunter, for example. In that book, Maul managed to walk around Coruscant, kill 2 Jedi, and make it back to Palpatine without anyone knowing, and the Jedi are led to believe that both Jedi Bondara and Darsha had accidental deaths. This is probably something I could see them pulling off in this show. In this scenario, we have Sith A, who's probably going to strike at someone within the Jedi ranks. But to make sure that the rule of 2 is not disrupted and to keep the Sith from being discovered, Sith A will probably end up fighting Sith B, potentially Plagueis or Tenebros, which will result in Sith A's death. But keep in mind, every theory I have about Star Wars projects is always wrong, so none of this will probably happen. Overall, though, I am just excited for the show. It has been my most anticipated show since its announcement. I just urge everyone to keep their expectations at a reasonable level. Needing certain characters to show up will result in disappointment, and comparing it to other shows like Obi-Wan Kenobi or Andor will also end in mixed results. Andor, for example, was phenomenal, but if I go into The Acolyte expecting it to be anything like Andor, I'll be disappointed because they're two completely different shows. So let's just be patient and wait for more details, and more importantly, wait for a trailer before we start speculating. But let me know your early feelings about The Acolyte down below. Are you excited for it? Do you have any predictions of your own? Leave everything in the comments below. As always, thank you to everyone who stuck around to this point in the video, and we hope to see you again very soon.